All right, here are my 4 audience members. Fire Station 2, C shift. Woohoo! All right, here we go. Attempt number 37. All right. Good evening, everyone. My name is Alan Torrance. Today I'm talking to you to give you a brief introduction, kind of explain what got me into the EMS field, and kind of explain what I'm doing now and what my aspirations are. The item that I am using as my vehicle will be my stethoscope. I've had this for many years. It's been on many calls. The start of my EMS career was back in middle school time frame. We were having Thanksgiving at one of our family members' houses, and she was having to prepare everything for Thanksgiving, the dinner, preparing the house itself, preparing for all the guests that were coming in. She was not feeling too well that day. She had a lot on her plate. She's a little bit middle-aged, and she's also a heavy smoker, and I think a lot of this contributed to it. Eventually, it kind of caught up to her. She wasn't feeling well enough that she felt that she needed to go to the hospital and get evaluated. She had one of her neighbors, a good friend of her, take her to the hospital, and we found out about halfway through, they ended up having to call 911 to transport her the rest of the way to the ER. Later that evening, we found out she actually had a heart attack. And unfortunately, she passed away. And it was kind of a hard thing for us because she was a lifelong family friend. And that moment kind of stuck with me. She had a lot of the signs and symptoms of a heart attack, but I just didn't recognize them at that time. So fast forward a few years, I go to high school. And while I'm sitting in class, I see a girl with a big binder on her desk labeled emergency medical technician. And I had never seen that stuff before. And so I asked to look at it, and inside of it was a ton of stuff that you don't see in your normal high school curriculum. There's trauma stuff, medical stuff, gunshot wounds. That's just not part of your normal high school stuff. So I got intrigued. So the next year, I went and took the EMT course, got certified as an EMT. At this time, I was currently a volunteer with a local fire department, and I started working at a local transport company, practicing to be an EMT. Eventually, I went back to school, gained some more knowledge, got my paramedic, and that opened up some doors. We can do some more treatment modalities, you get a little more autonomy in the field, you get to work some different stuff in the field like critical care jobs at transport. I eventually moved into the fire department. I've been here for about 5 or 6 years. In fact, with these gentlemen here with the shift that I started on. Joining the fire department has probably been one of the biggest positives in my life. Having a group of guys that are like-minded, that deals with the same stuff. They have seen the good stuff, they have seen the bad stuff, and having that support group has been the biggest help. Along with that positive, of course, is the negative. And the biggest negative, I think, has been the toll on mental health and how important it is to have a support group of like-minded individuals that you can talk to kind of help you in that regards. So that's the main gist of my positives and negatives for the fire department. Starting out as an EMTB, working my way to get my paramedic, and ending with the fire department with, as I've said in the previous video, aspirations to go for like an EMS supervisor position. And like I said, the stethoscope I chose because of its obvious importance to medicine. You think of nurses and you think of doctors and you think of the stethoscope. So that's my item. So I do appreciate your time, and I wish everyone a good weekend.